This might be the most anticipated champion of the year. We finally, after almost 11 years of this game, have the Lizard in MCoC, and it's a big sigh of relief to check him off the list of characters we still need. And I had a lot of fun playing him. I've said that with Paviter, and I said that with Frankencastle, and I don't know, it just seems like all these new champs I'm having a lot of fun with. Dracula was the big exception, obviously, but I think Lizard's going to be pretty good. And naturally, we're going to go through a bunch of different matchups that I think he's good for in this video, talking about some utility pieces that his kit has and stuff like that along the way. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Basic rundown of Lizard. He's going to place Ruptures. The Ruptures act like Scorpion's debuffs, where when they drop a special attack, they take damage. And then you're going to place a bunch of Ruptures, get them to take a bunch of like that pseudo power sting damage, and then you drop a special 2, and the special 2 does a lot of damage based off of the damage they already took. So you get them to drop a lot of specials, drop a special 2 for more damage and stuff like that. So in his special 1, you're going to ramp and get a Fervor. That's going to let you place the Ruptures more often. And then you want to pause the Ruptures with a heavy attack against a non-stunned opponent. So basic rotation is special 1, special 2. And the only thing you want to do in between that is use your heavy attack when they're not stunned to keep your Ruptures paused and just keep them dropping specials. So let's watch that in play against this Mojo here. So we're just going to go ahead and place the Ruptures, as you can see, just by hitting Mojo. And then I'm going to drop a heavy attack, but it wasn't when he was stunned, so I don't get a pause. But I can get a pause right here, and boom, that's a 15-second pause. So all my Ruptures are going to be paused during the duration of that pause. And yeah, now we can do a bunch of nice damage here. So Mojo drops that special, and he takes a lot of damage. And then you'll notice something cool right there. When I dropped my special attack, I had a dex buff on me. When Lizard drops a special, he is going to be buff immune for the duration of the special. So we can do that to obviously avoid triggering dex and getting degen'd by Mojo, right? And we didn't even use the special 2 here because, again, I kind of just used the emergency special 1 just to get the dex buff off me. And even with just spamming special 1s, that was a really fast fight. Like, we didn't even go for the big damage. Okay, now we're going to go fight his tailor-made matchup, and that is Nico. So we didn't talk about Lizard's tracking yet. When you intercept or punish the opponent's heavy attack, you're going to place a tracking. And of course, this tracking gets paused just like the other things that the pause pauses. And yeah, it's really helpful for Nico because if she drops a special 1, then you don't have to worry about the untouchable part. And also, Lizard is poison immune, so we don't need to worry about that either. We kind of like getting the buff immune on us because then we're just going to trigger our unstoppable from being buff immune, which is going to give us more attack rating, and he just works out really well for Nico overall. You drop the special 2 there, and then it's just going to kill her, and that's just a really fast Nico takedown in 38 seconds. Okay, now we're going to go fight Enchantress. Obviously, tracking is going to be really vital here because everyone knows Enchantress likes to make you miss. The only annoying thing I don't like about Lizard is getting the tracking online, you're still vulnerable to miss, right? Like there, I did miss her once, but now that I punished that heavy, I basically have a tracking up for the rest of the fight as long as I'm keeping my pause active, which I should be doing. So, careful thing I like to talk about for Mystics in the CCP map is there's no Mystic Dispersion in this. So she is getting specials infrequently, or not as frequently as normal. But yeah, it's just something I feel the need to talk about. So there, she does get the untouchable, but it doesn't matter because I have my tracking up. So she can't even make me miss. And I'm just gonna drop my special 2 here, and then boom, bite her, and then she goes down. So yeah, he's pretty good for Enchantress because of mainly just the miss counter, and also you just do more damage based off of how much power the opponent had when they drop a special 2, so that's really cool. Okay, now we're going to go fight Deathless Thanos. The reason I like Lizard for this one is just the way he's accessing his damage. Thanos doesn't like it when you're trying to use a champ who wants to play really aggressive, and Lizard doesn't have to. because the main source of his damage is not his hits, it's the power stings, basically, from the ruptures. So, yeah, against Thanos here, we are just going to be very careful of his unstoppable and let him basically kill himself by dropping his specials with a bunch of ruptures on him, right? So, we go ahead and do that. He takes a good bit of damage, and then just retaliate with my heavy, and just keep doing that. Reapply ruptures as needed, and then I'm going to try to get him to the 50% threshold and then kill him with my special 2. And the fact that Thanos is dropping specials a lot more frequently than usual because of his Energize is just helping us here, because we want him to drop more specials. We want him to take more damage, right? And then the special 2 just wipes him out. And that's Thanos in just over a minute, which is really, really good for a non-Mystic champ. So we're going to take a minute to rapid fire through some defenders that I just wanted to show you, but for time constraints I'm not going to show the full clip because it's all the same fights with Lizard, right? We do the same rotation for every single fight. And firstly was Onslaught. He's not metal, so naturally he's going to work pretty well for Onslaught. And yeah, that fight went pretty good. 50 seconds, he's a pretty good option for Onslaught. Next we're fighting Sentinel, and Sentinel reducing instant burst damage by a good bit definitely made this fight a lot more annoying, but what really was nice here is something we haven't talked about yet, and it's the fact that Lizard places a Wither on Sentinel when they're above 2 bars of power. So Sentinel's never going to go red from his armors expiring, because if he's above 2 bars of power, he's going to get that Wither, and he just won't get the ability power rate. So here's Sasquatch, the biggest BG's health pool, and Lizard's just going to make quick work of it. I'm going to go ahead and Dex into my special 2 here. He did trigger Wrath, a really good timing, but even if he didn't trigger Wrath and still the protection's up, he would have still died from that special 2. And that did, that only took 49 seconds. And then another tanky Mystic, of course. We're going to go fight Rintra now. I didn't line up with my Unstoppable, so I didn't get the extra bonus attack rating, but it didn't really matter too much. I think he kills himself here with the special 2 activation. Yep. So yeah, really good for Rintra. He's poison immune, so that makes him pretty solid for Arcade. I think I am going to get in the cloud at one point, because I was trying to line something up and didn't get it right. Or maybe that was earlier on in the clip. But yeah, we're just going to kill Arcade right here when he drops a special 2. And yeah, he's pretty fine for Arcade. Poison immune, so that's kind of the big thing. Okay, now we're going to show Lizard for longer fights, though. This was something that, again, people kind of wanted to see, because I didn't really talk about long fight options for a lot of these champs in my earlier How Will They Affect MCoC videos. And for Lizard, we're going to fight Nico here. I don't think he's a great long fight damage dealer. I think out of the 2 champs this year, Paviter felt better for longer fights, but Lizard didn't feel bad. Like, I think we're still going to get this 1.4 million health Nico down in under 2 minutes, which is really solid still, especially when it's Nico and she's healing in this fight, and we can't actually stop her healing because you can't stop adrenaline. So we're actually doing a lot more damage than what meets the eye. So, yeah, we do the special 2. It does some really nice burst damage, and we're going to actually close off this fight by using the special 3, which we haven't talked about yet. The special 3 does the exact same thing the special 2 does, except with a little bit of extra damage. Not a significant amount. I wouldn't usually advise you to go for the special 3 over the special 2, because it's not that big a difference in the damage department, but it's still something. And it has a really cool animation, so we might as well show it off here in this fight, where obviously I want to show you how fast Lizard can do the fight, but still feels worth it to show the special 3 animation. So here I'm going to go for my heavy attack, pause my ruptures and stuff, and then Nico's going to drop a special there. We barely did any burst damage again because of her adrenaline, just giving her all that health back. And then what I'm going to do right before my special 3 is trigger my Unstoppable from the buff immunity, which I'm just going to do with her charging her heavy, so we get the extra attack rating, and then drop my special 3. She's at 32%. And let's just see how much damage the special 3 does. The attack itself doesn't do that much, but it's about the burst at the end of it. Again, just like the special 2. And that's a 400,000 burst. And she lives on 1% and then dies from the ruptures after, which is kind of funny. So, Anyway, that was a pretty rapid-fire video for Lizard, but now let's take a minute to talk about how I think he'll shape in the meta. For BGs, I think he'll be a pretty solid attacker for BGs, especially as more Mystic defenders come out. He's going to be very good for Nico, probably the best Nico counter in the game. Pretty good for Enchantress too, and honestly, almost every Mystic he's really good for. And again, we're going to get more Mystic defenders, I'm sure, sooner or later that he's going to be great for. And then there were quite a few outside of the Mystic class defenders I thought he was going to be good for, as I showed in the video. BG's defense, no. I don't think he's going to be anything close to a defender. He's got a little bit of regen, that's kind of it. He has like no defensive threats. Alliance War, I actually do see him being pretty solid for War. He's got the tracking, the unstoppable, he's got poison immunity, all things that do matter in War. There are quite a few Nico placements that are a bit troublesome sometimes, especially with node 49. She's on 49 a good bit that he'd be really good for. And I wouldn't say the same for Enchantress, but Enchantress isn't really a threat in Alliance War defense anymore. But yeah, the poison immunity, just having an immunity in general makes you pretty decent for Alliance War because of just the various hazard shift stuff. Long form content, not really. Questing, he'll be fun, but not one of the best questers, mainly just because you have not an awkward playstyle, but you do have to find a way to force your way into the heavies. But then again, honestly, the questing, he's probably a better quester than I'm giving him credit for. Like, there's nothing that makes his kit really difficult to use or anything. And that's kind of Lizard. Like, I had a pretty good time using this guy. I think I like Paviter more of the two, but it's really close. I like Lizard a lot. And I'm not going to, like, lie to you and say that I like this champ a lot more than I really do. Because I do think he's a pretty solid champ. And again, I was very critical on Dracula. I don't think I'm going to be that critical on Lizard, because he's pretty solid. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like and a subscription. I would very much appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.